We know he fell off the bridge, but he doesn't show any signs that he was struggling.
But you must have some evidence, right?
Well, we did find some hair on his clothes, but that was sent to the lab for some analysis.
And what are we doing here if they cleaned his body to the bone?
We're supposed to comb the area for evidence. That's why I have this.
Wait, I found something. Who is this?
I saw this man's photo in a newspaper I was reading called The Liberator. My friend told me I'd get a kick out of it. He thought I was joking when it said that slaves are real people. I think the man in this photo's name is Frederick Douglass. Anyway, we should take this back to the station to get cataloged. Hey, the lab results came back, and the dead man is William Garrison, famous abolitionist.
Well, that's weird. I was just reading about him in this book. William Garrison grew up in a New England Christian household and joined the abolitionist movement at 25. He left the American Colonization Society, like many abolitionists before him, to follow the radical abolitionist idea of immediate emancipation. He founded the uncompromising abolitionist newspaper, The Liberator, in 1831, and he founded the American Anti-Slavery Society, which was politically active in different states on top of public campaigning to sway the minds of the people against slavery. It has a notable people column in this as well in the margin. It says abolitionists such as Frederick Douglass have made notable appearances in The Liberator and have spoken to the society. There's a photo of Garrison in here too.
Huh, that's weird. That looks like the silhouette from that picture we found at the evidence.
Well, I guess that means that our only lead left is to look at the other man in the picture, Frederick Douglass.
Look, the door's open. I hear two people arguing inside.
Why are you here, Finley?
You know full well why I'm here. William is dead.
That's true, but since when have you cared? You left your stupid society almost a decade ago.
Stupid? We have backing from Henry Clay, Francis Key, and the nephew of George Washington.
So, your little colonization project is a failing idea. The American Colonization Society is a joke and you know it. You're just a white minister who feels like slavery is wrong, but feels like slaves are inferior to you and need to be put in your rightful place.
The American Colonization Society is a dignified and established group. Your experience as a slave and support abroad means nothing to the slavers. The only solution to the freedom of your kind is to be put as far away from these people as possible.
You have the audacity to refer to slaves as my kind? Come talk to me when you and your whole Society for the Colonization of Free People of Color of the United States gets a brain.
We are not preserving the institution of slavery. We are buying Negroes and freeing them. We are putting you in your natural place. It's people like you that taint our organization with fallacy and moral suasion or total emancipation. It will never work.
I'll stand guard in case any more belligerent abolitionists come our way.
Alright, I'll go in and talk to him.
I'm free, I swear, my paper's right here.
No, I'm not here to talk to you about that. I'm here to talk to you about the murder of William Lloyd Garrison. Anyways, what was that about?
I'm not entirely sure, but Robert Finley founded the American Colonization Society to buy slaves and send them to Africa. It's a failing practice because a lot of the abolitionist movement has drummed up public support against it. I've bitterly opposed them for years now, and Garrison did as well.
How did you get free anyway?
To escape the slavers the second time that I escaped, I fled to Britain and Ireland, where I drummed up support for the American abolitionist movement and got enough money to buy my freedom and publish my own anti-slavery newspaper, The North Star.
What did you do for the abolitionist movement?
I give speeches and try to change public opinion about Negroes' role in society.
What's your connection with Mr. Garrison, then?
The Anti-Slavery Society sometimes would have us escaped slaves speak, and they would popularize ideas. Naturally, that put us in the crossroads with Garrison, but other than that, I don't really have much more to tell you.
Is there anything you can give me that'll help me find the murderer?
As a matter of fact, I do. I know Mr. Garrison often published letters and other bits and bobs from other abolitionists in The Liberator. I would talk to the Grimke sisters. They might know a thing or two.
Alright, thank you. Alright, I'll stay and watch.
Okay, I'll go in.
Hi, can I help you?
Can I talk to you and your sister about the death of William Lloyd Garrison?
Sarah's not here right now, but I can talk to you. Sit down.
Can you tell me a little bit about you and your sister?
Sure. Me and Sarah grew up in a household very opposed to slavery and very for the improvement of women's rights. Sarah made a number of visits to Philadelphia, where she became acquainted with the Society of Friends, a Quaker group that advocated for the end of slavery.
Tell me more about this Society of Friends.
The Society of Friends is a Quaker religious group that's been around for years. Quakers were among the first whites to denounce slavery in the American colonies and Europe, and the Society of Friends is the first organization to take a collective stand against slavery and the slave trade, later spearheading the international campaigns against slavery.
What about some of your publications?
In 1836, I wrote a pamphlet, An Appeal to the Christian Women of the South, in which I urged those addressed to use their moral force against slavery. Sarah followed up with An Epistle to the Clergy of Southern States. Her purpose in writing is to oppose the common religious pro-slavery arguments.
Do you know about the abolitionist William Garrison?
Yes, I wrote a few articles in his newspaper, The Liberator.
Do you know of anyone who was against him and his efforts?
I don't know of anyone directly, but I know a place where a bunch of pro-slavery followers congregate.
Okay, thank you for your time, Angelina, but I've got a case to solve.
Okay, thank you for your...
Hey, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Alright, fine, I needed the money. Some guy came up to me and offered me $1,000 if I just killed this William Garrison guy. I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling abolitionists.
What's this? These banknotes are from James Henry Hammond, one of the biggest proponents of slavery in Congress. You're coming with me back to the station.